Hello everyone, 42 Unc CEO back here with another video. Today we're going to be talking about an interesting subject. It's not really news per se, it's more so a little bit of opinion. I mean, it'll be a little bit of updating and everything like that, but it's really just kind of my opinion and my thoughts on, the current state of mainstream music, which I think is in a really good spot. And I mean, the whole point of this video is really to talk about how I think underground right now is getting a little scared of the mainstream, or at least maybe they should be. And we'll kind of talk about like specific case points on why I think that and the specifics. But yeah, let's just get into it. So let's talk about what's been dropping mainstream wise. So Yeet, that's one, which I don't even know how you could say he's underground now. Some people like say that, and I'm like, what? Are you stupid? But yeah, he's mainstream. He's a fully mainstream artist. He's doing mainstream numbers. Just you can't argue it. He's a mainstream artist. He's dropped Tyler the Creator, another mainstream artist, Lil Uzi Vert, another mainstream artist who will be dropping next week, and Kanye West, who potentially could be dropping soon. Also, Ken Carson, potentially dropping a single this week, and eventually, hopefully, big on the hopefully, Playboi Carti, I Am Music. So I don't even know how many artists I just named that were mainstream dropping within like the next month, 2 months, or have already dropped within the last week. But it's a lot. Almost so much so where it's the point of maybe these mainstream artists are even hurting their own sales, right? Because of, everyone dropping. So that's an important part of this. But let's talk about what's planning on getting dropped in the underground soon. And I'm thinking of two specific projects. One from Osama Sun and one from Netspend. And I'm wondering why they haven't dropped yet. And really, there's not a whole lot of reason. I think, of course, when they do drop, everyone's going to care. That's already a fan of them. Everyone's already going to want to listen to it. It's going to get a lot of hype, and it's going to be up there. But I feel like they should have dropped by now. I really just fully feel like they should have dropped by now. And I feel like the reason that they haven't dropped is really because they're scared of the mainstream. I think they're nervous. I think they're nervous about, just everyone dropping and all the mainstream artists kind of dropping and taking away the hype of their own projects, going crazy. So I think that's really the main issue that we're seeing them face. Because I really do believe that Netspend would have dropped in October. And I think the same thing for Osama Sun. I think it would have dropped in October as well. Maybe they were always planning to drop this late. Maybe this was never in their, in their books. But I feel like it just causing some issues. And not even just to harp on Osama Sun and Netspend so much, because I think they're one of the two of the hottest top five, underground artists right now. I think they're in the top three for sure. I think that they're probably the 1 and 2. But I think with other underground artists too, this is a little bit worrisome for them. Because, if you think about it, a lot of these underground artists have influence from artists like Tyler the Creator, Lil Uzi, even Playboi Carti, Ken Carson, stuff like that. But sometimes, fans listen to underground music because it sounds like an artist they like, and that artist that they like, who's mainstream, isn't dropping music. And so with that happening, with, these artists actually dropping now, it's going to be a little bit harder for fans to, want to listen to this music. And I'm not talking about all you underground listeners, like all the ones who, really care about the culture and the underground music. Like, that's me, right? Like, I don't care if someone drops a lot mainstream. I'm still going to listen to the underground. But I think there are people out there who are kind of on the bubble who, listen to underground a tiny bit, a little bit here and there, but they don't know much about it. And the main reason why they're listening to it is because of their mainstream artists that they like not dropping music. And now, with all this music coming, it's going to be harder to pay attention on the underground artists. It really is. I mean, it's a hard perspective for me to give, because I'm so, deep in the weeds of like all the news happening and everything that's happening. And so, me saying this, like, it's really hard for me to agree with it, because I'm like, I care. Like, I want to know when the underground artist, like the next underground artist is dropping, all the new stuff going on. Like, I care. I want to know. But I have to think there are other people who don't listen as much, to underground music, who have, busy schedules, who are busy with other things going on in their lives, and who don't always prioritize like trying to discover and find new music. They just want to listen to what they like and they don't really want to search hard for it. So there are a lot of consumers out there like that. I mean, that's the main reason why it's called underground. And, there's a difference between underground and mainstream. A lot of the mainstream listeners don't have time to be searching up, Osama Sun leaks or, whatever it may be. So that's kind of the main reason. I mean, they're going to be listening to all this new mainstream stuff dropping, but with all this new mainstream stream stuff dropping, it puts less of a priority on the underground. And, maybe it'll be on the underground artist marketing team to kind of figure out a way to navigate it and to place them in a pedestal where they're almost mainstream. And honestly, the funny thing is, in my mind, Osama Sun and like Netspender, they're not mainstream by any means, but like, I hate even calling them underground because I feel like they're so big at this point where it's like, is that even underground? Like, I guess it is, but depending on the sales of their first week, for their album, they really might be in kind of like a middle section. Like, I won't call them mainstream, but I think if they sell really well for BAFK and Jump Out, like maybe 15, 20K plus, I think, is that really an underground artist? I don't know. I guess it's up to your definition and up to what you believe. But overall, I want to get your guys' thoughts. I mean, do we think that the underground is not per se screwed, but I think it's going to be a little bit harder for underground artists to drop in the next few months. I think it's going to be a little bit more difficult on them. So, do you guys agree with me? Do you not agree? I feel like it's a little bit of a hot take to say it because, I mean, a lot of my viewers are really just interested mostly in underground. So, the mainstream isn't as important to them, but I think, it might cause some problems, at least maybe on the label side. So we'll see. Let me know what you guys think. I hope you guys have been enjoying the videos. Yeah, I've been really excited for, this new kind of season, Q4 2024 music. A lot of new albums, a lot of great music, and a lot of news too, a lot of very interesting stuff. So for me, as kind of like a reporter, commentator, and person who's really loves the space and really into it, this is an interesting time. I think a very interesting time. And 2024 overall has been just ridiculously insane for music. I mean, 2024 has given us so many artists, new beefs, new just music. It's been wild. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of the kind of ideas I brought up and everything like that. And yeah, have a great rest of your week.